be showing you how to do Headshot 2 by Rythmind on the RC505 MK2. So I'm not going to waste any time, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to be using all 4 banks of effects here. We're going to start off with We're going to start off with input effects A. So for bank A, you have in slot A an oscillator bot, slot B an oscillator bot, slot C an oscillator bot, and slot D again an oscillator bot. The settings are all the default settings except for A and C, which have their balance turned to 100. There is a sequencer enabled, and I will post all the details of what is in the sequencer in the comments for each of these. Next up in bank D. Next up in bank B, we have on A. Next up on bank B, in slot A, we have an oscillator bot. In slot B again, we have an oscillator bot. In slot C, we have an oscillator bot. In slot D, we have an oscillator bot. The settings for D are changed to an oscillator of square and a balance of 100. And on C, the balance is 25, and B and A, the balance is 100. Let's move on over to input effect C. So these are my drum settings. So on A, we have a low boost. So on A, we have dynamics, low boost, plus 20. For B, we have EQ. For B, we have EQ, plus 4 lows, plus 8 highs, and everything else is the same. And C, we have EQ again, minus 20 for the lows, and everything is the same except for the level, which is plus 7. And on the last slot, we have minus 20 EQ on low gain. And on the last slot, we have EQ, minus 20 low gain, plus 1 high gain, and everything else is the same. Lastly, on input effects D, we have a low pass filter here. We don't use this, we just have a free slot available. In B, we have distortion, type DS, distortion of 90, tone of 0, entry level 50, dry level 0. In C, we have a preamp on combo crunch, original speaker, 50 gain, all the default settings I believe. And on D, we have an oscillator bot. The sequencer details will be posted in the comments below. Now we're going to move on to our track effects, which we don't have as many of. In slot A, we have a low pass filter at a rate of 0, depth of 50, resonance of 50, cutoff of 100, and the step rate is off. That's it for bank effects A. In B, we have an oscillator bot, balance of 100, an oscillator bot on square, balance of 100, an oscillator bot of square. They're all on square, by the way. Balance of 100, oscillator bot square, balance of 100. We go to C. Here's where the final drop track effects are stored for me. You can put these wherever you like. This is just where I want them. So in A, we have a low pass filter, rate of 0, depth of 50, resonance of 50, 100 cutoff, and a step rate is off. But over here we have a sequencer, and I will drop the settings of that in the comments too. In B, we have distortion, type DS, tone 0, distortion 50, entry level 50, dry level 0. Transpose on a sequencer, I'll drop that sequencer in the comments below as well, and it's on mode 1 if you're using the latest update of the Loopstation. And on D, we have EQ, plus 20 low gain, plus 2 low mid, plus 2 high mid, plus 5 level. So that's all the effects out of the way, and here's what each track is going to store. So this track is going to store your kick, this track is going to store your snare, hi-hats, and shaker. This track is going to store your as well as the final drop. This track is going to store another as well as the chords at the end, and this track is going to drop, excuse me, and this track is going to store the headshot melody that you hear at the end of the song. So that being said, let's give this a run through. So for me, you're going to start on bank effect C. You're going to use your snare EQ, which for me was my second option. So you're going to want to use 3 snares: a light K snare, a light inward K snare, a spit snare, and a deep inward K snare. Yeah. So now we're going to switch over to track effect C to put in our hi-hat. And now we're going to put in our shaker. Pardon? I'll see. So now we're going to switch to D, put in our bring it over to A on our low boost. Okay, there's the kick we were looking for. Let's go over to F. What I did was then switch to C and D, cued this to begin recording, and once I began recording I switched back to A and B. Then I turned down our low pass filter to around here and enabled this for track effects. Now what we're going to do is bring this back up. Headshot. Stop this playing. Turn it up. Headshot. Headshot. Are you ready? Headshot. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah. Now before I hit start, be sure that track effect B, number A, is what's enabled, because this is going to transpose this up to this. You ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah. Notice I'm switching between A and B here. This is because the max step rate is 16 and I wouldn't be able to finish it otherwise. Anyway, after 4 beats, turn off A, bring down your kicks and bring back the kicks as well as put on track C. And the same thing, you're just switching between C and D. And at this point, turn them off, bring down your kick, go back to your low pass filter, turn it down. Next we're going to go back where I have headshot enabled. Just delete those two, we don't need them anymore. So what we've done here, we have recorded our bass line for the ending. Now, we're going to go to B. All stop. At that point, when you're going ah for the final beat, you're gonna switch to C and turn on track effects here and keep this turned down. Make sure everything's turned up. And what you're gonna want to do with the vinyl is turn this off. Now what you could do is just stop and start. So I'm gonna turn on the kicks. But that sounds too rough for me. So anyway, we've got our track effects signed up. Everything's ready to go. Turn this back down. And 3, 2, 1, drop it. And that is how I do Headshot 2 by Rythmind. Now, it's not perfect, I'm aware of that, but it is the best I have so far. And once I figure out what to do, next up we have... So see you for that.